30% discount at Stone Stopper by Moonstone TM. Find us at moonstonenutrition.com. Here radio. Stone Stopper by Moonstone TM is a doctor-developed, science-backed kidney health solution with 30 MEq of alkali citrate to prevent kidney stones. Available in powders and capsules. Enjoy an exclusive discount with my promo code moonstonenutrition.com for radio to get 30% discount. Other shows we have for you to enjoy at myclassicradio.net. The Avengers was most certainly not a household name in South Africa prior to the radio series. With no national television service until 1976, the mechanism simply was not present in the country to show television programs to mass audiences. While many other countries reveled in the filmed adventures of John Steed and Company, South Africa was not equipped to join in the fun. The series took Britain by storm and made a major impression in the American markets, being that greatest of rarities, a British series given a network transmission slot. However, as a filmed series, rather than a videotaped one, The Avengers was able to gain a modicum of exposure in South Africa through film rentals. Come and listen at myclassicradio.net.
We now present The Adventures of Marco Polo. Marco Polo and his companions arrived at Pekin, the capital city of China. They entered the great gates of the city, and they were immediately arrested on the orders of Van Chu, the governor. They were placed in a dungeon, while the Princess Zelana was taken to the palace of the great Kubla Khan. The Khan looked upon her features, but she twisted her face and grimaced in an endeavor to make herself ugly, so that the Kubla Khan could not make up his mind whether to marry her or not. Princess Zelana then pleaded for the lives of Marco Polo and his companions, but Van Chu, the governor, tried to persuade Kubla Khan to kill them. Eventually, the Khan agreed to interview the four Venetians. Meanwhile, Marco Polo, with his father Niccolo, his uncle Maffeo, and servant Benno, were crouching in an underground dungeon.
It seems to me that our journey to China has ended in disaster. All we will see will be the four walls of this dungeon.
A most uncomfortable dungeon, I must say. The ceiling's too low.
Much too low. I cannot stand up straight. I think the Chinese are barbarians.
On the contrary, my brother. They're a highly civilized race.
They're not treating us like civilized people.
Oh, I have a pain in my back. I wonder if we could ask them to place us in a larger and more spacious dungeon. Benno, how are you feeling?
Oh, this is a most uncomfortable dungeon, and I do not like the Chinese. I do not like that man, Van Chu, who placed us in this dungeon. He eyed me as if he wanted to kill me.
Yes, he eyed us all in that manner. He is a villainous-looking scoundrel.
Well, it behoves us to be polite to him. After all, he is the nephew of the Kubla Khan.
Well, what do we care for Kubla Khan or his nephew? We are not likely to see either of them again.
I blame you for this, Marco.
Now, why blame me, my uncle Maffeo?
Possibly the Khan knew that you'd been making love to the Princess Zelana, and this is our punishment.
Well, I have an idea that the Princess Zelana may be able to save us.
I think it is all because of your love-making, Master Marco. I have always found that women cause trouble. If we had come here without the Princess Zelana, we might have been saved.
Well, we're not dead yet, Benno. Let us trust that the great Khan may consent to speak with us.
Someone comes now.
You will step out of this dungeon.
Are our lives to be spared?
Ask no questions. Come with me.
Are we taken to the presence of the great Kubla Khan?
You are to be taken before the great Kubla Khan. You will prostrate yourselves before him.